Call to order.
5:31.
All right. First up on the agenda, we have an approval of minutes of March 8th, 2023.
I approve.
I move that we
Yeah,
approve. Somebody want a second? Give me a second.
Second.
all right.
That was the 3-minute meeting?
Nadia, the meeting that wasn't a meeting.
Yeah. All right, third part of our agenda, youth counselors report.
Okay, so I currently have 21 kids and 2 adults in my caseload. This predominant presenting issue is still anxiety followed by substance use and depression. That hasn't kind of shifted much. Anxiety is really the number one diagnosis. I've been getting kids on waiting lists for outside counselors, but I'm also getting calls fairly often, 3 to 5 calls a week for a new client referral. I submitted the print order for the Monomoy youth card we talked about, which is going to be coming in fairly soon, and so when it does, I'll present it at both the selectmen's meetings in Harwich and Chatham and the school committee. So they all each get a copy of it and they know what it is. Does the school committee have a public comment thing the way
At the
the
beginning
way
of
the
every-
selectmen
yep.
meet? Great, because that'd be the best way to do it briefly. And I'll try to get some coverage in the Chronicle for that as well. So one side of the card, which I'd said before, has local and 800 phone numbers for nonprofits that deal with mental health, substance use and crisis intervention, and LGBTQ youth. And the flip side has websites with similar resources that they can go troll around on, and they've been around for a long time, most of the websites. The Regional Substance Use Addiction Council has completed their second assessment in 7 years, I think. It's available online. I put the link in my report. And so the 4 domains that were studied under what gets spent are recovery, treatment, harm reduction, and prevention. And the study that was done in 2015, less than 1% was spent on prevention. I'm not sure what the percentages are here, but actually they spent a little more on prevention than harm reduction, but they spent the most on recovery and treatment. So there's $48 million total, plus change. And treatment and recovery totaled 46,000 of that. So you can see it's still, getting to the point where it has to get really awful before, or that's where most of the money goes, whereas we want it to go the other way. So hopefully is the goal. January 20th, we had the middle school social. We didn't review that at the February meeting, did we? I can't remember. Did we have a February meeting? We did. Okay, well, it went well.
The minutes,
I don't remember.
Yeah.
we did not have February.
Yeah, that's what I thought, so that's why I brought
I
it.
think because the scheduling got weird.
Yeah. Hi, Annalise. So does everybody feel like it went well?
I did.
Yeah. It was a little loud where Joy and I were sitting, but Joy handled it, so it was wonderful. She was masterful.
Yeah, I thought it went great. Turnout was huge. I mean, there was like close to 100 kids.
Yeah, I feel bad that the guy, he was supposed to have 2 guys come with him and they bailed on him at the last minute, so it was just him.
I think when we shortened the time of the games, that really helped, because when it was like 25 minutes per game,
Yes.
that gave them too much time to kind of be rowdy, and
Yeah.
the line got a little squirrely there. So I thought when we went to 15-minute games, that really helped.
Yeah.
Play piggyback with each other in the hallway.
Yep.
January 22nd, I presented upon request from Barbara Ann Foley at the Holy Trinity Confirmation Retreat. Your sister was there. On the topic of suicide prevention. And so it was a fairly somber topic, given that I think the theme was joy or something at the retreat. But I think it's always good when you have an opportunity to talk to kids about how much more power they have to, help a friend, and what to spot in themselves or other people. And so it was good information. She told me later that they were kind of quiet, but they said later it was good to know stuff. January through March of this year, I worked on a subcommittee with the health director and first responders and the town nurse about what to do with the opioid relief funds, and we presented to our plan to the Board of Selectmen, which was approved. And then following that, or during that time, I was invited to come to the Chatham Health Department meeting because they were going to be discussing that, and they're going to be contributing funds in similar areas, a lot on prevention. Chatham also has a really great program for fishermen, so Narcan, harms reduction. So that was good. That was nice that I got invited. February 6 through 9, I was asked to be over at the Harwich Elementary School for the week for some hours during the day for staff that were reeling from the death of that child that died in a fire. There were a lot of support people there. And Amy Usowski, who is a volunteer with a group that does stuff with animals, dogs, as far as, what is that called?
Therapy animals?
Therapy animals, thank you. I can't even say the word therapy. And she I think she brought the dogs over the week after, so that was really nice for the staff. We did Girl Power for January and February. Went really well, but there were too many girls. We're going to limit it, get it back to 12. It was 15 girls. It was wild at times. And we had 3rd and 4th grade this time instead of just 3rd. So just that extra year, makes they're harder to lasso,
Yeah.
So. And then in May, there's going to be a Harwich Children's Fund pickleball fundraiser. So tell everybody about that. We should get enough players, but if people want to come and watch and cheer them on, it's going to be really fun. So.
What's the fundraiser for?
May 20th, Saturday. Rain date, May 21st. Mr. De La Vega, the gym teacher from the elementary school, is helping us with players.
Oh.
So.
I just wrote down, talk to Marcus Taylor. Oh, that's
Yeah,
great.
it used to be 50 and older, but we decided to open it up to a wider group. We wish we could do like a huge thing, but it would take all day. So, like 64 players, but it's 32 players. So, okay.
All right, thank you. All right, moving on to spring social planning.
So, Sharon Stark could not be here tonight. Her nephew, she had to pick her nephew up from school. Everybody's getting sick these days, I think. But anyway, she said that we could have Veterans Field. We haven't really talked about a date, but we're thinking May or June. And they have access to a big grill for doing burgers and dogs if we want to do that. She can also get pizza at New England Pizza if we just want to do pizza. But we were going to talk about what kind of event we might want to have, whether it's just like a couple of games or whatever. But
Yeah, I feel if we did the kickball again, I think we'd change the format, mix kids with the first responders,
yeah,
which we talked about.
yeah, definitely.
But we could
I like the idea about like the obstacle course. Were we talking about that, or some sort of like? Were we talking about like a field day kind of thing with like stations?
That would be fun.
I think that would be cool to have.
Does
different
anybody
types of things.
have access to any people that have a business that does stuff like that?
Well,
The
but
gym teachers
gym,
in my
yeah.
school at Harwich Elementary always do a field day and,
Mhm.
The hard part is that all the elementary, at least at Harwich Elementary School, Marcus will be planning their own field day around that same time.
He will, yeah, yeah.
And I don't know how much additional, mental capacity.
And we could always just do an internal one again and have that Nerf Wars guy back again and, do it at the community center. But when is the field day that's in June?
It's usually in June,
Yeah, yeah,
but it takes a lot of planning ahead of time.
right.
Yeah, one
So I
in
don't know if he could
Chatham's
do like two things.
big. They bring the fire department brings a fire truck over by the fence.
Yeah.
And turns on the giant hose that's on top of the engine and hoses down all the kids.
For the field day?
Yeah,
Seriously? Oh my God, that's so funny.
every year they do that. It's pretty funny.
well, we don't
Wow.
have to do like a replication of the elementary field day, but maybe like,
Just like activities
just
like
like, yeah, if 4 or 5 different like activity areas they could go and do different things.
I mean, Veterans Field is big enough that you could do kickball on like the diamond, and you have all of that space way out there. So you
Yeah.
could have like a kickball game
That's
running and then a
true.
couple of other things.
Yeah.
And there's that what's it called? I don't know what it's called. I never played it at camp or anything. Like the little wooden.
Gaga.
Yeah.
Gaga
They
ball,
have
yeah.
that. It's kind of far from. Well, it's not that far actually. Just over the hill. But if we
Yeah.
had someone there too, we could do that.
Yeah, yeah.
It seems like, and I could be wrong, because of it being outdoors there, that we're gonna need more chaperones.
Yeah, especially if we have like a kickball game going and other events.
Right.
We need to get a few chaperones.
How confident are we feeling about that?
I
Well-
know it's closer to the deadline for NHS hours, so more kids will probably come because they're going to be like, oh, we need our hours.
Right, right.
I'm confident about getting enough high schoolers. I mean, we had
Yeah, that was
so
amazing.
many at the January event, and we've had a couple of other unrelated events that high schoolers have really stepped up to volunteer at. So,
Mm-hmm.
I just wonder about like trying to tell people they have to stay, like having a boundary area
Mm-hmm.
so kids don't try and just like go downtown.
yeah.
Right.
Like
and meet
being
their-
inside the field would be good because it's kind of hard to. This is really not unless you climb the fence.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you'd have to. Is it pretty porous there as far as being able to get out?
Not really. I mean, the diamond itself, it's pretty well fenced in.
Yeah. And
But
then,
if we had stuff like a Gaga, then
Yeah,
then
we
it's
had-
literally like that to Cumberland Farms is 30 yards.
Right.
Yeah.
That
That would
would
be
be
tough.
my concern, is that so many kids are used to going to either A's games there or just hanging out there and freely walking
know.
over to Cumbies or walking
Yeah.
downtown. And so I worry that doing it outside there might be
yeah, I do too.
tough.
And if it's weather,
Yeah.
then it's like,
And it's.
now what do we do?
It looks like the best day to have it would be Friday night, May 19th. I don't know if the school, do you have access right now to the school calendar?
I don't see any, they don't tend to usually do things on Friday nights, like there's a high school concert on Thursday night.
I mean, what do people think about being in the Chatham Community Center, being more contained and stuff?
You know, that's always my preference.
It's my preference
I'd
too.
probably rather have it.
I just had this thing about, I'll be newly retired and volunteering at something that if we lose children, I'll never forgive myself. No,
Yeah.
I'm
I
just
mean, it
kidding.
seems fun to have it out under the lights, but I think it's
Yeah.
way more.
It's
easy to-
ambitious because you really have to, it's almost like you have to have this gated thing where you're letting people in and,
Yeah.
charge for it almost,
And
that
I
kind
think
of-
you're right. I mean, they are used to. So, like, why are they
Right.
gonna have to listen to us now?
Right,
when
especially at
they
that
come?
age. Like if it were little kids.
Yes, that's
That
a
would be
different thing.
easier, but
Yeah.
middle schoolers are used
They're
to
more
just going there and
adventurous.
hanging out and,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easier at Harwich too because there's nowhere they can go.
right,
Like,
it's
we're
not
gonna
that
go to
interesting,
Woods.
yeah. And even then, they
No.
tried to last time we
Yeah,
did that.
That's a good
They
point,
did.
yeah.
But,
Yeah.
you know, Cumbies is right there, you know, the Nun's right there, they can walk right downtown, like it's just.
Does anybody have a preference between the Harwich Community Center or Chatham?
Chatham, I think Chatham's more fun. Like when I used to go to them as a kid, I liked it better.
They have that nice room downstairs, so.
Yeah.
All right, let me talk to Sharon about Friday, May 19th. What do we want the hours to be?
I think we agreed after, we did meet and talk about after the gym. Remember, we agreed that it was a little too long
Right,
last time.
shorter.
Okay, so 5 to 7 or 6 to 8?
I think either of those are fine.
5 to 7.
You want to do 5 to 7?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
That way too, it's like, you know, I don't know, that age group, when they get 8 o'clock on, they start getting
Okay,
What about
rambunctious.
5:30 to 7:30?
Okay.
Because some people work till 5.
yeah,
That's true.
that's the only thing I was gonna say. Okay, 5:30 to 7:30, cool.
Yeah.
And we'll see,
Also, I don't know about school activities at the middle school level.
Oh, that's true. They'll have
It's hard for
sports.
high schoolers to get there at 5, because we don't get out till 3:15, so it's like
Right.
yeah.
You're right, and there'll be sports. So that will be,
Yeah, but then we might have
That's
to do
true.
6.
I don't think they get over till 5:30.
It depends, like, it
Or
depends.
if they have a game, that's.
If you're, so it will affect it in two ways with the high school volunteers. Like if they have an away game or match or something, they could maybe not even be out till 7 or 8.
yeah.
So that might rule some of them out. And we'll probably lose some percentage of the middle school kids, depending on,
Yeah.
you know, but I don't think that's a deal breaker.
We
And-
also can't count on senior volunteers, because at that point in
They're
time, they may be
done.
done, and the sophomores aren't very.
That might even be
active.
the weekend of their trip,
Ooh, is it?
their senior trip.
I can look up this, I know that the Taylor Swift concert's the same weekend, so I.
Are you a
Oh,
senior?
right. Because some people backed
Oh, well,
out.
then I won't be here.
For
You
the
going to Taylor
19th?
Swift?
I'm kidding.
You were
He
going to
couldn't
be
get
very
tickets,
popular.
he
I was going to
tried.
say.
I tried to get tickets, it didn't happen.
It's that weekend.
Yeah.
I got 6 tickets.
Did you really?
Ooh.
For Friday night?
No, Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Key Club also, won't they do stuff?
It's the same kids though.
It's all
It
the same
is?
kids.
Yeah, it's,
Okay.
yeah,
Alright.
so that's a problem. I mean, Interact has some different kids that a lot of the Interact kids don't do other stuff,
Yeah.
but
It's
and the sophomores don't volunteer for anything. It's
Right.
mostly that group of senior girls
right.
that volunteer for stuff.
There's a group of senior girls, a group of juniors.
Yeah.
Like there was a ton of juniors at the one in
There's a lot of,
January.
well, yeah, we need our volunteer hours. So.
And there were a handful of freshmen.
Okay.
Oh yeah, like Thomas Chase.
Thomas
Yeah.
and Patrick and Gavin and
Mhm.
Patrick Mack. Anyways,
Yeah,
so I think you'll still get enough, but it's just something to keep in mind.
and we can hit up some parents and teachers
Yeah.
and stuff too, so.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think it'll be
But all those kids play spring sports.
right.
All the yeah. Like I can't think of anyone in the groups you just said that don't play spring sports.
So do we wanna do, does that mean 6 to 8 would be
6 to
better?
8 sounds like it'd probably be more
I
viable.
mean, maybe, but again, if it's like an away
There's
match,
not a lot of away games on Fridays though. That's the thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
So that might
Okay.
help.
Yeah,
All I care
Okay.
is like, or not care, my preference is that it's no longer than 2 hours as far
yeah,
as the
we
kids
yeah,
being
we
there.
realized that
You know,
2
cause
was
we have
the
to clean up
max.
and all that. Now, what do you want for, activities? Do you wanna do the Nerf Wars thing again in the gym? And
He was, especially like if he doesn't have assistance, he doesn't need it.
He's
He
a-
he really,
He's amazing.
he had a good handle on those kids.
I've never seen anybody have such.
And that did seem to be pretty universally popular.
Yep, it was.
I
And
was
they
just gonna ask.
run like crazy puppies. They're so tired when they're done.
Yeah, I mean, boys, girls, younger kids, older, like they all seemed.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, that's like something that you get told not to do is shoot each other with Nerf guns all over the house. So when you get to do it in a gym, it's probably pretty
Right.
fun.
And then,
So you'll reach out to him?
yes. And Mr. Tim, his name is. That's what the kids call him. And then Sharon and I'll just get the regular snacks and pizza. And downstairs, they just do arts and crafts, play
Play
pool and
pool, ping
foosball.
pong, yeah.
And the art room is open, you know, that has all the clay and everything. They have so much fun. One of the Girl Power groups, I had this great activity planned, and you know, I let them play with the model magic clay like during the first part, and they were having so much fun with it that we just let them do clay the entire 2 hours.
I love model magic.
Yeah, it's really great. You can put it anywhere, it doesn't stain. It's really cool.
Good, yeah.
Yeah.
I still use that in AP Bio. Yeah.
All right, great. I'll get in touch with Sharon about that.
All right,
That was easy. Wait, so did we pick a date? May 19th?
May
Yeah.
19th, 6 to 8?
Yep.
All right, moving on to new business.
Do you want to talk about this? Or do you want me to?
It's your
So
It's
Joy,
just
Joy very kindly helped me
volunteer.
put together a survey monkey for the elementary school for their youth mental health needs assessment. And I sent it all to you. Did you get a chance to read it?
I looked through a little bit.
Simple questions. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what's the beauty of it and stuff, but it was just astounding to me that of the people that were going to obtain services that said they were able to, but then was it easy to navigate, and 87% said no. And then, do you see a need for the town of Harwich to have a dedicated youth mental health counselor who can provide counseling and referral services for families with children 5 to 10, because I don't see kids younger than 11, and it was 92% that said yes. So then the really amazing
Yeah,
thing
the
were the
comments.
comments. Oh my gosh, it was really, some of it was really poignant and really spoke to the need of how important it is to start young. I don't know if I've told you guys this analogy, but it's the only one that I can think of with regards to how important it is to start young, which is that, in 1862 was when they first started bringing water down from upstate New York into the city. And before then, people had died of tuberculosis and typhoid, and they getting sick with all sorts of illnesses because the water supply was so bad. And so I sort of look at prevention that way, as far as, that we're sort of our kids' clean water, as it were, you know what I mean? So that they can have a better start, if that makes any sense.
Go upriver.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, next steps for this might be to, well, you shared it with Scott Carpenter. Do you think that I should share it with the selectmen, or I'm not sure. I'm going to be talking to them at some point in the next couple of weeks, hopefully, about possible uses for the building next door, because tonight they're going to talk about disposition of the building, which I don't know what that really means. I think it means that they want to figure out what to do with it. So I had a concept for a youth and family wellness center that I just wanted to run by them. No RFP, just like, what do you think of this idea? And see what happens. And that might be a good time to share this information. I feel like it should be shared with them, but anyway.
Anybody else with any new business?
Anything on the wilderness front?
Supposed to be being put onto the March agenda for the Recreation Committee.
Mm-hmm.
I asked for a phone call or an email confirmation that I was going to be put on.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of because I was asked to be put on January, oh, too late. Asked to put on February, forgot, or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, in that second email where it was like, no, too late again, he said March, and I said, okay, well, once I'm, could you please confirm with me that I'm on it? I'd like to make sure that we get this happening.
Yeah.
So hopefully, they meet the last week of the month.
What day of the week?
I believe it's a Tuesday,
Okay.
so hopefully that happens.
Okay. Did you call Elaine directly, Elaine Banta?
No.
She usually knows. If you just call the general rec number, she answers the phone, so.
All right, anything else?
I don't have anything else.
Would you like a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
Second?
All right,
All right.
adjourn.
Oh, we didn't set a time for the next meeting, but it's scheduled anyway, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Alright,
I have it written down, yay.
5:56.
This is for you to take to the wellness fair.
Oh,
For
is
the-
it, oh, it's because you